down a stage here for this month's Being in Sync. And boy, this insight is something I never in a million years thought I'd be bringing to you. I am bringing you the reasons why at my age I decided to get braces. And it's not, for those of you who know me, you know that there's always a method behind why I do what I do. And I wanted to share this video, one, because I don't want to tell this story to everybody every time. Two, I think it's so important that you have this information. I'm creating a video about it. Three, I have to say I'm super excited about my new grill. And I never in a million years thought I would be excited about that. But I want to share with you why I have braces now, because I didn't 2 months ago. In fact, I was doing the whole Invisalign process, which I started last year in 2020 in July, August time frame, 2020. And I decided, oh, we're wearing masks. This will be a good time to do Invisalign, get my teeth aligned. And I'll tell you why it's important to have your teeth aligned, what I discovered, and why I moved forward with Invisalign. But then I ran into a problem. So first I want to talk to you about my Invisalign problems. So I went to my dentist and I noticed and had an awareness about my teeth shifting. However, I didn't have the full understanding and scope, which unfolded shortly thereafter, as to what the long-term impact of your teeth shifting, changing, adjusting, your bite, all of those things are really important, but what a lot of people don't talk about is what I'm going to share with you, the 4 main reasons. But first I want to talk about the first 5 don't do's with Invisalign. If you're thinking about doing Invisalign, you know, it didn't work for me. I watched tons of videos. I did my research. I felt like I did my due diligence. However, I would say unequivocally learn from my mistakes. Because I did not see one Invisalign video that covered these issues that I ran into. And I watched a ton of videos. None of them, they all told you how to pop them in, pop them out, how easy it was, blah, blah, blah. That was not my experience at all. So first I want to say the first number 1 don't do. And I know that there's a ton of Invisalign distributors out there. But Invisalign is only the plastic part. They do the plastic part of the brace. They do not do the buttons. I don't know if you knew that, but that was not in any of the videos. The buttons are completely, totally done by a separate company and through your dentist. So your dentist is the one that does that. Invisalign does the clear tray. So my first don't do is don't get it done from your dentist. I have what they called a mild to moderate adjustment. I think my situation was very mild to begin. It got moderate because of the mistakes from the Invisalign process. So the only way I know that is because I had to go get the problem addressed, which is why I have braces now. The Invisalign through my dentist, I would say that she was not equipped. She didn't know what she was doing. She was not a tier. They have tiered expertise, so that she was not in the tiered expertise. So that I didn't even know about until after I was in the process and already having problems. I had problems within the first month that I noticed, like, food is getting stuck in my teeth where that wasn't an issue before, and my bite was slightly off and that wasn't an issue before. And I know your teeth are moving and changing, so discomfort's a part of that, but I had a lot of discomfort, and I was just told that was part of the process and that was going to change, which I was okay with, except for that I had some indicators that things were not working. So my first problem is that after the first month, I noticed there was an issue, and I didn't feel like my dentist was maybe not the right person. So I emailed Invisalign, I called them, and I got zero response from them. That was a problem. So now I'm a month in, now I'm 2 months in, COVID's happening. That was a problem. The bite issue, which I thought was part of my teeth changing because of the shifting of the trays, was something totally different. But I didn't discover that until I discovered more information. When I got to, you get a certain amount of trays, and I was told I would be done with my Invisalign probably by 8 months. So I was on my third tray, so month 2.5, and I noticed my teeth started to chip. And that was disturbing because I might have had crooked teeth, but I didn't have chipped teeth. And my teeth chipped, not just one, not just two, but I had 3 teeth that chipped and some that got a little jagged. And that was not in any of the videos I'd seen about Invisalign. And when I mentioned that to my doctor, she said that I was clenching my teeth when I sleep. I've never been a clincher. I've never been a grinder. That has never been my issue. Stress is not my issue. I have a very beautiful lifestyle. So I could see where that might be normally something to say. It did not fit me, and it did not fit my situation, and it did not fit my experience of my teeth and my jaw. My jaw wasn't tight. I wasn't having those issues. The process was not working. That was the issue. And so when it got to tray 9, there ended up being a major issue within my dental office. They had a COVID outbreak. The dentist was not responsive because she was having a baby. She didn't have a backup to her backup, and it was all kinds of problems, which ended up being a blessing to me because I needed to find a new doctor. So I went to a backup, and the backup referral that I went to, there was some kind of problems with transferring my Invisalign. I couldn't really figure out what was going on, but that took about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So now you see I'm in my tray. My teeth are supposed to be progressing. You know, I'm still on plan for my 6 to 8 months that I'm going to get out of this, which is not looking good right now. It's definitely not happening now. That much I can assure you. That 6 to 8 months completely changed. So I ended up going to the top tier expert that Invisalign has in their profile in my local area, and ended up going to a proper orthodontist, which I would highly recommend if you're thinking about addressing these health issues that I'm going to suggest everybody should address if you have the means possible. Go to an orthodontist. You really need to go to somebody who's, number 1, going to take the proper images, and number 2, knows what they're doing, and number 3 is going to give you the truth. And I will tell you, when I went for my consultation, I was in utter shock. I was in total shock when I sat there and he gave me the assessment. The first problem that I absolutely knew was an issue is that when I took out my trays and they told me to bite down and they took the images, I could tell when I was biting down, my teeth weren't even touching. I had no contact. So you know, when you're chewing your meat or your vegetables, you have to have contact. Like, that's the pressure is what allows you to chew properly. I had no contact. The tooth that I knew I had an issue, that was food getting stuck in, had gotten pressed down. So it was not even aligned with my own teeth. It was a little bit down, and so that was causing the food to get stuck. The chipping, I couldn't get a definitive answer for the orthodontist to say it was this, but my assessment is that the chipping of my teeth were because the Invisalign were not properly structured. And I don't think that was Invisalign's issue. I do think that I needed to have new trays created after, which was another thing that I will tell you is that the way that you sign up for Invisalign determines how many trays or how many impressions of trays that you can get. And I was not signed up for the proper one. Now, I did not know that because that was not mentioned in any of the videos, but apparently there are 2 packages that you can sign up for Invisalign. One is that you get unlimited trays and for your entire duration of doing Invisalign, so they can correct it all the time. And one is you get 2 sets. And the dentist that I went to signed me up for the cheapest one, which ended up not being what I needed because I would have needed more than 2 sets to fix the problem that they had with Invisalign. So I chose to go with regular braces for a couple reasons. One, I wanted my orthodontist to be able to make the changes required for my bite immediately. When you do Invisalign, you have to send it in and then they wait for the mold and then they send it back. So there's a whole process that you have to go through because they're using another facility. When you go back to this old school braces, you go into the dentist and you're working with an expert who has all the tools on hand to fix and adjust things as you go. So for expediency, is that even a word? For the process to not be delayed even more, which I'll get into what they told me, how long it was going to take potentially with the Invisalign, was going to be 18 months. So now you know why I went into shock. When he said 18 months, I nearly fell out of my eyes welled and I was just in shock. I had no idea for a mild, but now moderate situation because of my bite situation. It was going to be almost 2 years and I just was not willing to do that. And even that he said it would be difficult to fix my bite issue based on what was showing on the images. So I chose to go with braces after I got out of shock, and I'm told about a year. And I will tell you, after being in braces now for a little over a month now, compared to the Invisalign, I would never recommend the Invisalign solely because this is so much easier. I mean, does it look great? I don't know. I still have a hard time smiling because that's the only time it like rubs on my gums and so forth. But otherwise, I'm not in any pain. It's easy to brush my teeth. It's just solely easy. It's just easier. So for those of you who want to know why Kiana would you get braces? I came up with 4 primary reasons in which it's so important. So your mouth, if you think about all your systems being connected, all of your energy meridians and channels go through your teeth. So if one tooth is off and it throws another tooth off and another, so you kind of have a dominoes effect. So throwing the energy and energy shifting isn't a problem. It's when, and as you get older, your meridians the channels get blocked and shut off. And that's a problem. So for me, what was happening is my teeth were not only shifting, but they were folding in. So if you think of your bite straight like this, mine were going like this. And that is going to definitely constrict the flow of energy. So the primary reason why I got braces, number 1, is so all my meridians are open, channels, and they will be aligned, and there will not be a restriction of my energetic structures. When you have restriction in your energy structures, such as your teeth, and a lot of your meridians connect with your lungs and your heart and your blood, and you definitely want your oral hygiene to be in proper condition, which I'm telling you, if I knew all this back when I was in my 30s, things would have been much different with my my protocols. But now, you know, when you know better, you do better. And I'm trying to fix some things that were definitely going downhill. So meridians, and then any deviation in my structures, I didn't want there to be restriction. Of course, there's the visual aesthetics. You know, when I went to the dentist initially, she had pointed out something that I had always kind of wanted to fix, but I had never talked to a dentist that had ever recommended braces. And like, if I knew that braces could have fixed that issue years ago, I would have fixed that visual, because I just had 2 front teeth that there was just a little bit of a shadow. So the visual aesthetics is definitely a part of it, although that was not the primary piece. And so visual, and then my front teeth. I just wanted my front teeth to be more aligned. But the main reason is that when you have your mouth structures, and this is a thing that I noticed when I became aware of this information, and I've been studying teeth now for over 8 months. And I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I'm not a dentist, but I'm definitely an expert in the energetic flow of our structures. And when I took time to pause and I reflect, now if you think about this and you go and you talk to any folks that you know that are older, retired, and you look at their teeth and how their teeth are structured, if they don't have exceptional oral hygiene, what you'll notice is they are distorted. And what came to me is that when we have distorted inner energy structures, we allow other things to distort as well, which is dysbiosis. That's when that comes in. When we have a weakness in the flow of our energy, dysbiosis can take over. So dysbiosis is essentially a distortion within your cellular makeup. And doctors don't talk about this, but if you look at how people's mouths are, it will show you that they may have problems in the future. So when you look at older folks who maybe go to the dentist, and this isn't about going to the dentist and having root canals and bridges and all those things. It's about making sure that all your meridians are flowing, all your channels are flowing, and that there is not energetic restriction. That's the primary focus. And if you look at how a lot of older folks' teeth are aligned, it will tell you kind of where their problems are within their physical body. And there's a lot of ancient data. You can look at Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, and they'll all talk about how these bacteria can create havoc in your system. And that's another thing. Your gum bacteria is huge, and there's some simple things that you can do to alleviate gum bacteria, which causes, heart issues and those types of things. And I don't want to say it causes it, but it definitely is correlated to the flow of it. So this might be a little bit long-winded, more information than you ever thought you would need to know about your oral hygiene and teeth and braces and your energy meridians. But I wanted you all to know why I chose to go down this path. So I'm about, now I started in August, so August, September, October, November, December, January, February is when I got, so 7 months in. I was supposed to be getting off in 8 to 10 months of the Invisalign, and now I'm basically starting a full year. So I'll be having these bad boys on for the next year, and I tell you, I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm happy that I'm on this path to wellness and vitality, and I'm totally open to any of your questions that you have for me, but I just wanted to share this information, and I wish you all health and happiness and complete alignment of all your energetic structures. Cheers to being in sync.